I think it's best to say that cartoons have their own way of getting in trouble with audiences. They might do something that might upset a lot of people, which result in the cartoon being brought into the world of controversy. But even but even with the controversy, I think we can all agree that we still enjoy these types of cartoons. How, However, this controversy I'm going to be talking about was actually a fight between two cartoons and two studios. And you're probably wondering, what are those two studios? Well, back in the 1940s, there was a controversy between argument with Warner Brothers and Metro Goldwyn Mayer, aka MGM. So, what was the fight all about? Well, remember the Looney Tunes cartoon called Rhapsody Rabbit that was released in 1946? The plot of that cartoon involves Bugs Bunny playing a piano in front of an audience, a live audience. However, he keeps getting distracted by a random mouse. Sounds like a simple premise, right? Well, in 1947, the Cat Concerto, a Tom and Jerry cartoon, was released, which involved a similar premise. Tom plays the piano in front of a live audience but keeps getting distracted by Jerry. Both of these cartoons were shown for the Oscar nominations, and the Cat Concerto was shown first. Needless to say, Fritz Freeline, who worked on Rhapsody Rabbit, was very angry. An audience, after watching Rhapsody Rabbit, said claimed that Warner Brothers copied the Cat Concerto and considered that the Cat Concerto was well received by critics. And in fact, there were some people that were actually laughing in the cartoon. As a result, the Cat Concerto was nominated instead of Rhapsody Rabbit for the Oscar of Best Cartoon Short, and it ended up winning that category. Yeah, Willie Hanna and Joseph Barbera was skeptical, while Fritz Freeland was furious. Then the whole situation happened, with both Warner Brothers and MGM accusing each other of plagiarism. So, let's take a look at these cartoons and dissect this controversy. Now, one thing you will notice in both of these cartoons is that they both have the same premise, like I said. Bugs and Tom are playing the piano, but they both keep getting distracted by a mouse. Now, for Tom, it's Jerry. But for Bugs, it's a random cartoon mouse, not even a part of the cast, and it's only there just to bug Bugs while he's playing the piano. As you can see in these cartoons, the gags are almost similar, though they have some different gags, like Bugs hopping on the piano, and Jerry replacing one of the piano keys for a mousetrap, and Tom getting his finger caught in it. But here's the more important part. The song Bugs and Tom are playing. Well, both of these cartoons have the main protagonist playing the same song. Frank Litt's Hungarian Rhapsody #2, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already heard of, and it's been played in many cartoons, I think. And at the end, both mouses end up receiving the credit over the other, even though the two main protagonists finished the song. Now, with the reception, the Cat Concerto was critically acclaimed, while Rhapsody Rabbit did garnish some favorable reviews, but it did have some criticism surrounding the premise, and especially that infamous beginning where Bugs outright shot someone for coughing twice, even before his performance. Jeez, that was dark. Now let's get some guesses out of the way involving why these studios would accuse each other of plagiarism. Now we already know that both cartoons have a similar premise, but let's dive into their production history. Rhapsody Rabbit was released in 1946 and has an earlier MPAA number, making it that evidence to show that the Cat Concerto may have plagiarized Rhapsody Rabbit. However, according to some people, MGM's cartoons usually have a longer production period. However, during production, it's revealed that Rhapsody Rabbit started production first, and that the Cat Concerto was rushed through its production, but Rhapsody Rabbit was released of its schedule. Then there's the set-in. When it comes to the set-in, a lot of people would agree that the premise of a premise like this was more suited for Tom and Jerry than Bugs Bunny, since Tom and Jerry is all about a game of cat and mouse. It's likely that this premise is more relatable to them. However, one thing is noticeable about this cartoon is that during the 40s, Tom and Jerry were living more in a domestic setting. And yeah, while we do see the cat and mouse in random locations in the newer projects, the the 40s is where they have more of a domestic setting. So it could be off-putting that Tom is at a concert performing for a bunch of audiences. With Rhapsody Rabbit, Bugs performing in a concert was more reasonable since if you saw in the Looney Tunes cartoons, the original ones, Bugs Bunny can pop out and appear in any type of setting. However, then there's the whole mouse plot. To me, this whole mouse plot feels kind of off for Bugs Bunny, and and a lot of people can agree with that. Since mainly that this isn't the type of thing Bugs would usually do. And the short kind of portrays him as more out of character and more vicious like. While the Cat Concerto perfectly captures Tom and Jerry's antics as something that is more fitting for them, despite the offsetting. But now, I think we should probably discuss where the whole controversy started. Getting back to the production history, Rhapsody Rabbit was accidentally sent to MGM. Technicolor was accused of sending a print of either cartoon to a competing studios. So this could be that they may have plagiarized their rival's work without even realizing it. That could be a possibility. But then again, that is still something that people can carry mixed thoughts about, whether debating if that was true or not. But at the end of the day, with all the evidence, it's still unclear who's in the right. While there was some evidence to show that the Cat Concerto may have copied Rhapsody Rabbit's premise doesn't feel like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It portrays Bugs as his character here is very similar to Tom. But then again, we don't know who did the plagiarism, and we don't know if either of these cartoons were a ripoff. But again, if it's enjoyable, I'm getting my money out. But these cartoons are really enjoyable. Well, I prefer the Concerto a little more than Rhapsody Rabbit. I don't know, it's just me. But what do you guys think? Which cartoon short do you think it's better? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll be sure to post more videos in the future. So take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.